Pero si ya sé nadar.
No tienes ni idea. Tienes que olvidar todo lo aprendido en el mundo de la superficie y llegar a mayor profundidad para descubrir tus instintos atlantes. Ha pasado toda su vida preparándose. Preparándose para ser el mejor.
Gracias a mis padres soy quien soy. Soy el protector de las profundidades.
What was the first thing you knew you wanted to tell with Aquaman?
Well, the first thing I wanted to do was take a character that people are not as familiar with, because you know there are not that many movies about him and stuff like that. Or actually, at the time, there weren't any movies with him at all, and really sort of bring him into the mainstream and really showcase how cool this guy actually is, and he's not just a joke like he's become sort of in the pop cultural world, but you know, he's a really cool character, and he lives in a super sort of visually amazing world, and so you know, from a filmmaking standpoint, there was just a lot of fun things to do.
Mera and Queen Atlanta are really strong characters. They become a guide of some sorts. Why did you consider that the feminine side of the movie should be that important?
Well, I think it should be important, and I think you know, Mera is as important as Arthur is in the film. You know, because she represents this other side of him that he's kind of been very standoffish from. He's kind of like rejected, and so Mera represents, you know, Atlantis and the underwater world and all of that he is as well, but he's kind of completely pushed it away. And the fun part for me was just kind of like seeing how she tries to bring him back into that world, and then seeing him trying to show her that the surface people are actually not that bad. and so, you know, from that we get a, you know, a really sort of kind of fun, kind of cute dynamic.
I want to know more about the structure of the movie, because I think works really great, and there's this symmetry between the beginning and the ending,
right.
And it's clean and it's simple and it works, and I want to know about the process.
Yeah, listen, going into this, I had my task of bringing this world and this character to a whole new set of audiences that are not familiar with him, and in doing so, I knew that I wanted a story structure that was, you know, very straightforward to follow, and you know, and if you sort of you know, I love sort of classic sort of action-adventure movies like Indiana Jones, you know, Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? And then there's Star Wars, and they all have very sort of classic hero's journey. And then of course, you know, in this movie, Arthur's journey is very obviously Arthurian, right? It's the King Arthur story, you know, like he is a king who's basically in search of his Excalibur, and so I felt like that was the cleanest story to tell, and off that sort of very simple, clean story, I can hang all these, you know, kind of, you know, very sort of crazy action set pieces and striking images in there.
There's a couple of scenes that seem to reply directly to some of the criticized parts of DC movies or the last DC movies. Did you ever worry about that, or about the pressure?
No. I mean, listen. There's pressure just from making these big budget movies, right? You know, that you have to kind of you know, deliver on the entertainment and all the stuff that comes with it. It's really no different to the pressure I had when I was making Fast and Furious 7. You know, like taking on such a big project, and with it comes a lot of expectations. So yeah, so those are the kind of pressure I felt. But at the end of the day, I try not to let it influence me too much, because you know, it's gonna stop me from making the movie I want to make. It's gonna be debilitating, and I just don't think it's kind of a healthy thing to kind of let it get in your head too much.
La guerra contra la superficie es una realidad, te guste o no. Tu madre siempre supo que eras especial. Ella creía que tú serías quien uniría nuestros dos mundos.